So beginning by finding a comfortable posture, sitting, standing, lying down. Allowing yourself the gift of the opportunity to really discern in this moment in time what would be most supportive physically for this body. And so that might mean beginning with a little bit of movement. Maybe the body wants to do some big stretches or some little stretches or just the head or neck, or maybe even stand up and get a real little bit of a move in. Asking into the wisdom of your own body, because I don't know. How could I possibly know what's best for you? And we could only know what's best for ourselves when we slow down enough to ask and to listen, to practice. If that's all we did, if we just slowed down enough to ask in and then to listen and to act from the wisdom that arises, that alone would be a game changer for ourselves, for our society, for the world. And we can explore some other things. But just that would be enough. I feel like in our modern fast-paced world, and maybe long before this era, there's this like, oh, just a little bit more, please. Like I could be a little bit better, or this could taste better, or you could be better, or this could be improved. It's like, yes, maybe. And the torture of that. The torture of that never satisfied. And I know it really well myself in Buddhist psychology. There's a concept or an idea that we each have some kind of personality type, and that maps to the 3 poisons or 3 fires or 3 marks of existence, or whatever you want to call them, of greed, aversion, and delusion. I guess not the 3 marks of existence, but the 3 poisons or the 3 fires. The 3 marks of existence are anicca, anatta, and dukkha. But greed, aversion, and delusion, if we think of those as personality types, and we each fall into one of those camps, it can be helpful to recognize, oh, this is my habit of mind. For whatever condition, I tend to be greed type, or I tend to be an aversive type, or I tend to be a deluded type. And maybe I'll talk more about those at another time, but I name that to just name that I am a greed type. I don't have a lot of material greed. That's not how it shows up for me, but I want to arrange my life so that I don't suffer, so that it's pleasant all the time. And then I want to arrange you or arrange a situation. And it's torture. Like, it's just my personal leading cause of suffering, as it would be for any greed type. It's just like, yes, 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 yes. How can I make it better? Yes, please. And my husband is an aversive type. And so he runs around the world. Just pausing for the siren. How can I make it better? By avoiding the unpleasant. Right? So either way, it's like, I want to make it better. But the greed type is like, oh, so I can make everything pleasant, and the aversive type is so I can avoid the unpleasant. But they're both pointing to the same thing, because of course, greed and aversion are just 2 sides of the same coin of craving. They're both tanha, or thirst, as it literally translates the second noble truths. Like, and then there's those of us who are deluded. They're just going, I don't know, it's fine. And like that's someone else's skillful means for being okay. is to not really be checked in, to be kind of checked out. I think my mom was a deluded type. She was like, just completely deluded about everything. And it's a coping mechanism, right? We develop these coping mechanisms to navigate life. Because guess what? There's going to be suffering, right? Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, old age includes suffering. Not getting what you want is suffering. Happy with what you don't want is suffering. Like, yeah, hi. And it doesn't have to be awful. It can just be like, oh yeah, hi, dukkha. Right? Dukkha is to be known, to be understood. First noble truth. Okay, so just as foundation. So again, comfortable posture, discerning from ourselves, from this moment, what's most supportive. And then I wanted to offer some words from the Buddha before going into meditation, or kind of as an entry into meditation. So inviting the body to settle, feeling the ground beneath us, the earth, the solidity of the earth, touching that stability through the chair, the cushion, or the floor, whatever props or furniture might be supporting us. Grounding, touching into and feeling the stability of the earth. Feeling our feet, our legs, our hips, our buttocks rooted on the floor, connecting to the earth, our home. People. And from that grounding, lifting up and out into the space that surrounds us. There's air that's all around, space between things that allows everything to come and go, to arise, to exist. Lifting up and out with alertness and wakefulness, presence and ease. Perhaps lengthening the spine and broadening the shoulders, the crown of the head lifting up. So that we might touch into an experience of wakefulness and ease. Relax and alert. And bringing attention, bringing awareness to rest into the experience of the body, resting. You might have a habit of practicing with awareness of breath or awareness of sound or some other approach. That's great. And if you're open to it, just try it on, this experience of resting into awareness of the body, resting. You might notice that there's a little bit of movement in the body, totally natural. And it's relative stillness. On a planet that's spinning as ours is, it's not possible to be actually still. We can experience stillness or a stilling. And noticing how the heart, mind, and body respond to these words of encouragement from the Buddha. The Metta Sutta. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with their life their child, their only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outward and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires is not born again into this world. The sound of the bell, the sound of a siren, the sound of the horn or the train, the creaking chair, all the sounds that surround us in our daily lives. They can be bells of mindfulness, calling us home to ourselves, calling us home to the present moment, waking us up to be aware of reality. Let's enjoy about a half an hour of stillness practice together, continuing to rest into awareness of the body, noticing the heart contracting and expanding, or continuing in the practice that's most familiar to you or most supportive. Awareness of breath arising and passing, or sound arising and passing. Whatever you're noticing, there will be the experience of anicca embedded in it, impermanence. For all conditioned things arise and pass. I'll close this 20 to 30 minutes with another sound of the bell. Enjoy your practice. enjoying the sound of the bell. And as the bell subsides, tuning in to the feeling in the body that remains. Continuing rest and awareness of the body, tuning into the heart and the gut. Noticing how the body responds as I offer these words of the Buddha, the Metta Sutta. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and kind and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with their life their child, their only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upward toward the skies and downward toward the depths, outward and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. And gradually expanding our field of awareness to include movement, really feeling the movement, this precious gift after a period of stillness. The movement being just as sacred as the stillness. Feeling the movement, feeling the body here and now, and continuing that practice of asking in, listening, and then acting from that place of wisdom. How might this body want to move at this time? What's most supportive? Maybe some twists, maybe a forward fold, maybe something entirely different. Ask in and listen, and then act from that wisdom. And turning away from the screen as you're ready, gradually opening the eyes and allowing light to come in. If you're sighted, sight, and noticing how the heart, mind, and body respond to what is perceived. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Noticing how it feels inside. Is there contraction or expansion? Is there leaping out into the future? Is there pushing away? Is there grasping? Perhaps there's some appreciation or a sense of gratitude. Maybe not. Is there some gladness? How's it feel in the heart? Noticing. We're not trying to fix anything or change anything or make it any particular way. We do that plenty. But instead practicing noticing what we perceive and noticing how the heart, mind, body respond or relate to what's perceived. And then as it's available, what's our relationship to that, right? Are we okay with that, or do we push that away? Okay, can we be okay with that? Just like whatever we can meet with kindness, with gentleness, with love, that's enough. It could be 10 rounds of shitting on ourselves before we're like, oh girl, that's fine. Because that oh girl, that's the magic. The magic. Thank you for your practice. for your kind attention. As we close, I just want to say that these words of the Buddha, this Metta Sutta, I offer it as inspiration, maybe motivation, and perhaps a vehicle for clear seeing. Not something to compare ourselves to and say, oh, I'm not doing this perfectly. It's like, of course not. Of course not. We're in this material realm. 2024, navigating this modern world. And we can be inspired. We can aspire for a mind that's free from great aversion and delusion. And this shows us a way. I mean, just the last piece, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, is not born again into this world. So those last two lines, is not born again into this world. It's like you're free from the cycle of samsara. Just like we can replace that with free, right? But how? By not holding to fixed views. Oh, I mean, I don't know everything. That's just a perspective in this moment in time. I love the reminder from Thich Nhat Hanh to make a clear view of a question mark. Are you sure? Every time Frank asks me, are you sure? I'm like, no. No, of course not. Oh, no. And a couple times on retreat, I was aware. I was like, oh, I don't know. There's way more at play here than I could possibly know. It's bigger than me. It's more complex. The situation's more complex. I'm more complex. You're more complex. Oh, so that freedom from fixed views, like, oh, that leads to an end of suffering. And maybe that's part of clear vision, to know that we don't know. Maybe that's enough. May the fruits of our practice be of benefit to all beings and bring peace and liberation for all.